As we look at where we're going now, Western Conference Finals, third time in a row. I think back to '99. You were
Mhm.
at the tip of the spear, leading the team for the Dallas Stars' only Stanley Cup victory. Uh, what do you remember from that great season, from that great ride, and from that incredible win for this franchise?
Man, I just I think about our time in Vail where we started training camp and we just knew at that point, particular time that we just had all the pieces that we finally needed to make a good run at it. We just picked up Belfour. We traded for Zubov, I think maybe a year
Right.
before. Brett Hall came on, Mike Keane, Brian Skrulin, Carbonneau was there for a little bit. So we had all these pieces, Pat Verbeek, Dave Reed. We just got some big time playoff guys, some guys who've been there for a long time. Some who hadn't won that were older, that were very hungry to kind of get a championship before they retired. And, a lot of us young guys that just wanted to maybe make a splash and establish ourselves as, regular contenders for the cup. So, and throughout the year, it just kind of progressed into, not losing I think maybe our ninth or 10th game till sometime in March. So, I mean, we just kind of were on a path to the cup from October. So we you get into those playoffs and you just really never know what happens. Things work out in strange ways, bounces, bad luck,
Yeah.
injuries, whatnot. So, but we're able to kind of roll through Edmonton. St. Louis gave us a little scare in six, and then obviously Colorado 7 game series. We had to win game six in Denver to come back to game seven at Reunion. So it was a big switch in series there, and then obviously off to Buffalo. So and the rest is history. But memorable times. I mean, just you know the bond you have with those guys that the going through the trenches and just every other day going just getting pushed to extremes physically and mentally in that playoffs is just a grind. And obviously back then the rules were obviously different. It was just a heavy type of hockey game played back then. It's
Yeah.
not the speed and finesse you see a lot today, but it was just a heavy grind. So we needed to have depth. We needed to have a lot of guys who can contribute. And from top to bottom, we felt we matched up with any team in that league. Detroit, Colorado, I think were the two that we kind of felt we were up against, and we were able to get through those two.
You described the building of the team in '99 as this. I almost liken it a little bit to building the puzzle a little bit. And I'm
Mhm.
curious because the last few weeks in the playoff run, a lot of the online chatter is this feels different this time around. We lost last year, obviously, in the Western Conference Finals, but this feels different. That's the thing I keep seeing and reading. When you look at what the team has done, Rantanen, obviously top of the list, two Hatties back to back. Uh,
Yep.
what are your thoughts? And you never want to equate immediately to the Stanley Cup champions of '99, but are you seeing some of the same machinations in terms of upgrading the team to where they might need to be to do this?
Yeah, I mean, you can see where Jim Nill had a lot to do with orchestrating this thing, and he learned a lot, I think, in Detroit with Kenny Holland, just finding guys who are veteran guys with some mix with some youth and some kind of maybe guys who were written off from other teams that come here and they find a second gear and a second win to kind of take it to the end. So I mean, Granlund's one of those. Duchesne. I mean, those two guys. Randon just was a big move. I mean, it's just huge to be able to pull that off. Then you got a lot of their fourth line guys. I mean, Steele's been playing really well. Their defense, being able to hold the fort while Heskin has been out. Harley's been a big part of that. CC, Michelle, but your backstop with Ottinger is just kind of is right up there. I mean, he's just making a name for himself. Made a big win against Hellebuck and those guys. So
Yeah.
he's probably the top guy left in the playoffs as of right now. Their special teams are 1 and 2, I think, in the playoffs. So you have to can't take many power plays against these guys. They'll kill you that way. But like you said, I mean, just tons of depth. 3 or 4 lines that can contribute, that can kill you. Tons of speed. They love attacking off the rush. So does Edmonton. I think they're number one in the playoffs with goals on the rush, and Ottinger's number one goalie with making saves off the rush. So the matchup is going to be really fun to watch. But Edmonton, I mean, they have the top two guys I feel in the game today with McDavid and Draisaitl, and their will to win. So I mean, they're going to be hungry to kind of move on and have another chance to win because their door might be closing here soon too. But man, it's going to be a heck of a series. So, but like you said, Dallas just they got some pieces, they got some depth, they got some hungry guys. A lot of guys, obviously, who I don't think anybody on that team has won besides Rantanen. So there's some hunger there.
Yeah. Are you surprised at all? It's been 26 years and we haven't shagged another one.
It is. It is. I think with the personnel that's come through there and the amount of talent that's been in Dallas, it's just it's weird to say that there's only been one since '99. So
Yeah.
but that shows you the parity in the league. It's a tough league. Every year teams make changes and improvements, and then you got to come back and start all over again. But it is a long year. It's a grind to get to April, but then those next 2 months are even tougher. So to kind of keep repeating that, to get back there, to keep getting more kicks at the can. I mean, you feel like you're if you don't take advantage of your opportunities, you never know when the next one's going to come.
Yeah. How are these guys feeling? Because you've been there, right? They're now in the Western Conference Finals, gone through the entire season, first round of playoffs. Is the body just beat to snot? Are you dragging yourself in every day, or entering the Western Conference Finals? Are you energized? What's it like from the player side of things?
I think there's some energy there because you obviously had a chance to, kind of continue this run and you're kind of moving on to the next round. But, you look at it, you're only halfway there. That's the crazy thing. You only got through 2 rounds. They got two more left. And, they get through these guys, it's going to be just a battle and the speed and tempo of this series. But then you might have Florida, Carolina in the final. So, I mean, Florida's just rugged and tough, and they can play any type of game you want. But yeah, I mean, mentally, I mean, that's the hard thing is just kind of keeping your body fresh and healthy. Things happen. You got to play through some injuries. You're getting banged up, but you gotta fight through it, and hopefully you can recover in 48 hours and get back at it. And but that's where you got to have a lot of guys contributing, kicking in, just to kind of take the heat off some guys that are relied upon that day in and day out.
Yeah. I'd be remiss if I didn't say, prior to talking to you today, I did a little Google last night and then rewatched the speech from last year from the unveiling of the statue.
Yeah.
Got a little misty last night listening to you, you know?
It's
What
tough
were,
every time I'm in front of the crowd and the fans, and it's hard not to. I mean, just it meant a lot to me, my career there, and you don't. It's hard not to get choked up every time I talk about my time there and the fans and the people and experiences that we had. And yeah, certainly that was monumental night and just a great event and a great evening. And the Stars did a great, amazing job. But yeah, I mean, just
well,
stuff we've been through. It's tough to hold back and choke it down in front of 17,000 people when you're on the stage there. It was pretty neat to share that with them.
well, and I think that's a big part of the reason the town embraces you so much and always has is because you're just real. You're just a real guy, right? There's no varnish on it.
Yeah, I think that's always been an open book to the fans and people, and just kind of I don't know, just naturally that part of me had just happened. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, the relationship I had with them was second to none. I'll never, obviously those times there are just uh, blazed in my brain. I just have memories and moments throughout my time there that just will they'll never go away. So that was a very meaningful time. So.
Yeah. Last question for any Stars fans who might be going to the games or obviously watching on TV. Any chance Mo pops down for a game during the Western Conference?
We'll see. Those games in person are a lot of fun. I mean, that place gets loud, and man, it should be rocking. So, but it's nice on the couch, and you get your breaks and able to get to the fridge and get a little refreshment. But nothing like being hockey live in playoffs at the rink. It's nothing like it, and I think Dallas is just kind of ready to just erupt if they get another run at this cup. So, but yeah, those series, those times at Reunion early on in American Airlines Center, I don't think there's a louder building that I ever played in when those playoffs started.
So the fans matter in the building.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I think it gives a little. It does and it doesn't. I think if it goes 7 games, those are always nice to have a little insurance of your fans there. I think it causes the other team to be maybe rushed a little bit because of the noise and. But sometimes we enjoyed playing on the road more because you just really hone in on what you're focusing on and your preparation is top notch. So it really is interesting to see. But it's always nice to have that momentum, that noise, that stuff. If you can get them going early and get the lead, then boy, they're going to be a tough team to beat.